everybody. Welcome to The Crunch. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rebecca Wettemann, and this is Patrick. We're here excited to talk about all things employee and customer experience and the value of employee and customer experience. So happy summer, everybody. Looking forward to the American holiday coming up this week. And I'm going to go to the pool. I don't think you're going to the pool, Patrick. I don't think that's going to happen. Not this time. Maybe after Memorial Day and Doggy Swim Day. But we're excited to be getting into the holiday and getting into the summer, and also excited to have a guest with us today, Jason Miller, who's Chief Evangelist at Creatio. Let's have him join us.
Hello, welcome everyone.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
Doing well. Absolutely getting ready for the holiday and trying to keep things moving. It's a busy time right now.
Yeah. Now, where's home for you?
Currently just outside Chicago, but going to be relocating down to sunny Florida here in just the next probably 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh, you are? Where in Florida?
Palm Coast.
Okay. Nice.
Very nice area, halfway between Jacksonville and Orlando, for those who may not be familiar.
Okay. Now, does Creatio have an office down there?
We do not. One of the beauties of Creatio being this worldwide organization, and I get a chance to travel kind of everywhere, is the fact that I can do what I do from pretty much anywhere. So whether it's Chicago, London, where I was at last week, Zagreb, Croatia in 2 weeks, Warsaw, Palm Coast, Florida, doesn't really matter. We have the ability to touch everybody, no matter where we're at.
That's great. I mean, the global organization has always been a key part of kind of Creatio's strength when you think about having feet on the ground just about everywhere, it seems like. But you guys have had a busy couple of weeks. A little bit of news.
Maybe a small little bit of news. It's kind of exciting in case people hadn't seen it.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And
so
I guess
200 million.
Yeah, minority investment led by some new investors. So we're happy to welcome lead investor Sapphire Ventures and Stepstone Group, as well as our existing investors of Volition Capital and Horizon Capital. Now, the four of them have come together to invest an additional $200 million into Creatio with a valuation of $1.2 billion. So a minority stake, but ultimately helping Creatio solidify unicorn status and really help continue to showcase the growth and the expanse of the Creatio product and the Creatio customer base, and all great things that we're out doing in the market right now.
I know I met with some of your investors when we were down at your No Code Day earlier this summer. Very enthusiastic about coming on board, and they're participating in this round as well, right?
That is correct. So you had a chance to meet with some of our existing investors from Volition Capital, and they are continuing their belief as the best performing company within their portfolio, and continuing to invest with our new investors as well.
And from your perspective, I know Andy was on with Paul and Brent last week, but from your perspective as chief evangelist, how do you see this kind of changing the game? Where are you hoping to really move the needle with this new round?
I think for a lot of reasons. Creatio has wanted to make sure that we've grown at our pace, which is an absolutely amazing pace. We've continued to grow at 50% or more year over year for the past, almost a decade now. And because of this, it's that slow and steady approach. And we realize, and listening to the market, that it's time to make a big bang. Right. We're seeing more and more organizations looking for new technology and new ways of solving some of their customer relationship needs, and then understanding the power of the no-code platform that we bring to really automate a lot of their different pieces. So knowing that it's time to really kind of continue that growth and really accelerate a lot of things, we felt it was time that we go ahead and listen to the market and take that additional investment so that we can continue our investments in research and development. Obviously, we announced our co-pilot and generative AI solution earlier this year, but it's also to really reinforce some of the areas that Creatio has always been great at, right? Make sure that our customers have a good selling or buying experience, making sure that they have great customer success. It's one of the reasons that, if you go look at all the peer review insights, we rank higher than anyone else that we compete against. It's these reasons that we want to make sure that as we're continuing to grow over the next 4 or 5 years at the same rate or faster than we're growing today, that we have everything in place to ensure ultimate success of our customers.
So you're growing rapidly, but overall deals are sort of slowing. It seems like they're taking more time. People are taking more time to make decisions. Is that consistent with what you guys are seeing?
I think the overall market has tightened for everyone. I mean, if you look at all of the players in the CRM space, everyone's telling you that things are slowing down. I'll tell you that that is true. I think that organizations are definitely making sure that the money that they spend is being spent in ways that's going to bring a good return on their investment. That's why for Creatio, we're actually accelerating a lot of the deals that we're doing. Yes, may take a little more time, but it's because they're actually moving forward because they realize the value and the time to market that Creatio brings. It's actually the number one driver that we see in most deals today is the time and speed to market that Creatio can bring, industry leading CRM versus, some other legacy technology.
And how much of the deal flow is sort of net new or we would consider non-CRM greenfield
Uh,
crews?
Yeah, I mean it's a great question. I think that it's the mix hasn't changed a whole lot. I think that it's stayed pretty steady, which is you have a good mix of legacy technology upgrade and replacement. People that don't feel like they're getting value from some of their legacy systems that they may have that are looking to upgrade. But there's also a lot of organizations out there that are growing, and they're growing to the point where they realize that they need to have a CRM. So it is a little bit greenfield, right? Now I'll give you an example. We have several financial service organizations that are coming up through that 2, 3, 4, 5 billion in assets under management. Call those mid-size or community banks that are just at the point where they're like, look, we need to put this stuff together because we need that holistic view of our customer base, and they're looking at Creatio as the best alternative for them. Instead of spending multi-millions, they can come in and get a purpose-built system for them for a much more reasonable price and a much faster time to value. But for those ones that are trying to upgrade legacy technology, they look at us for a couple of reasons. One, it is not only the time to market and the value proposition that Creatio brings, but it's all of the automation capability and the no-code tools, allowing them to enable the citizen developers, which we call no-code creators, to be able to work with their professional IT folks to really manage all of these business processes. And it really turns into an extremely valuable thing for them because they realize they can automate so many areas of their business that they weren't able to do before.
I want to go back to the no code thing for a minute because really you guys were country when country wasn't cool. Right? You've been doing the low code, no code game for a long time. But one of the things that struck me in talking to some of your customers earlier this year was how they're sort of growing their investment over time. This is definitely not a kind of set it and forget it thing. Can you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that and like in financial services, what that looks like for customers? Where's the common entry point and sort of where they go from there?
It's interesting because every organization has different entry points, but I think that the common factor that they all look at is the need for automation and the need for adding value to their engagements with their customers. Whether it's financial services, manufacturing, CPG, retail, organizations realize that brand loyalty isn't necessarily what it used to be. People are eager and willing to make those changes. So having high touch point and high quality customer engagements is at the top of everyone's mind. And that's really where it starts. It's how do I have the best view of my customers? How do I have all of the information I need in one place, easily integratable technology to help give me that holistic image or picture of my customer so that I know how to best engage with them. And then on top of that, you get some of the other automation, and then you start throwing traditional AI and generative AI on top of it. And it really allows that end user, that employee that's using the CRM to have high quality engagements with their customers in the most effective and efficient manner that they possibly can. This is why customers start talking about us. But to your point, they don't stop. They start realizing how much value Creatio and our technology set with low code, no code tools can really help accelerate a lot of these things. So yes, typically on average, we grow 30+% with existing customers every single year because they see the value. They find additional areas where they want to drive automation, drive better customer engagements and more efficiency. And that's where they really get that expansion with existing customers.
And so then they're buying more licenses to touch more people, more processes over time. 30%, really.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I mean, we've always had industry leading gross retention, but our net retention numbers have always been absolutely wonderful, and it's one of the reasons that we've been so successful in growing so much year over year. Matter of fact, even if we quit selling new deals, right, we'd still be growing at 30% a year. So it's really helping accelerate this entire growth process over the last 7-8 years.
And I know you've mentioned financial services a couple of times. How much of that is Creatio's focus versus other verticals?
I mean, it is our number one vertical, but it's by no means, the majority of it, right? I mean, in general, I would say roughly a third of our customers are financial service organizations, including banking, credit unions, insurance, maybe fintechs, those types of things. But it
Mhm.
is not our only focus. It just happens to be one that not only do we have a great focus on, but we've got a really amazing industry vertical solution on top of the Creatio platform that's specifically purpose built for their needs. But it's not the only one, right? Manufacturing, CPG, helping work closely with your ERP systems like Sage or HANA or maybe JDA. These are solutions that have been tried and tested and purpose built and expanded to really cover so many different use cases. So it is a large area for us, but manufacturing is very large. Insurance is growing massively for us with the acquisition of some new customers like MetLife and a few others over the last 12 months or so. It really is an exciting time to be working here at Creatio.
And you guys are really diversified globally as well in terms of customers. Can you talk a little bit about sort of what the trends look like across the different regions?
Yeah, I mean, all the regions are growing very, very well. We operate in what we break down as three different regions: the Americas, which covers all of the Americas, our European team, which covers all of Central and Western Europe, and then we break it into our emerging markets, which is Middle East, Asia, APAC, and ANZ. All of these markets are growing significantly. As a matter of fact, they're all fairly well balanced as far as our revenue. But our primary markets where we're focusing on really hyper growth right now is in the European and the Americas markets.
Okay. You talked about sort of your customers wanting to bring better customer experiences to
Mhm.
people. You also talked about some of the investments that you're making in AI. And I think we've started to see some noise about the idea of a completely digital agent,
Mhm.
right? A customer service AI that is customer facing for um, the first time for a lot of folks. How are you guys thinking about that? Will Creatio bring an AI agent into the workforce? What does the vision look like for that?
It's an interesting question. I think the general stance is we do not believe that AI will replace humans completely. AI, both traditional and generative, are meant to assist and inform and empower humans to be able to do their job more efficiently and effectively. Now, there are a lot of great use cases for driving self service and driving automation before it gets to a customer service rep and trying to deflect those to self service or something like that before it actually gets to that agent. But that being said, do I see, digital avatars being the way of the future? Maybe in some places and for some things, but especially, and it gets back to this point where customers want high quality touch point engagements. Having a digital avatar is the person I'm talking to as my agent probably isn't a very good customer experience. So I don't think it's going to replace humans in the long term.
But a digital chatbot, if it were intelligent, could be.
Yeah. And that's the enablement of a little bit of self-service. So if you're thinking about chatbots, right, a lot of these things are there to either collect information to empower that agent when they get the case open or, when there's a concern, or it's to answer, frequently asked questions or some of the basic use cases that might be, very common, like did you reset your router? Did you, make sure that the green light's on in the front, right? These types of things to enable self-service, which ultimately is a deflection to avoid having the need for those customer interactions. Now, will everyone want to follow that path? No. Should we always include paths to be able to get to a real person? Yes. This is why almost all of your telephony systems and chatbots always have that backdoor indicator, which is like, I want to talk to an agent. Okay, great. Let me get somebody on the line for you.
Mhm, mhm. So where do you see as the biggest area for you guys to advance from a no-code perspective and from an AI perspective? What does the next couple of quarters look like from a product
Yeah,
perspective?
It's great. So we announced Copilot just a few, I guess it's about 3 months ago now.
Right.
It's out right now in beta. It's going for general here in just the next month or so. But we're going to continue. I mean, this investment is going to do a couple of things. One, it's going to help us almost double our investment in R&D to really push the envelope using AI, both traditional and composite, for both in-app scenarios in sales, service, and marketing, but also with the no-code tools, helping citizen developers and professional developers not only build and manage applications, but also build and manage the Copilot scenarios as well. We're talking about full democratization of both development of applications and maintaining of applications, but also the democratization of all of these generative AI scenarios, allowing IT to focus on the most important things, which is data governance, data quality, security, but allowing the business to focus on the user experience, the process flows, the process automation, and ultimately the customer engagement. We feel like this is a really big step for organizations when they realize that they can have this division, empower the business to be able to meet their customers' needs, change at a moment's notice, given the changing business demands that are on them. So R&D is going to be one of our biggest investments, but like I said earlier, maintaining our excellence in customer service support, as well as in our sales organization. These are really the three primary areas that we're going to be focused on.
Mhm. Just a few things.
Just a few things, but they're core and fundamental, right? I mean, one of the things, and you know this, and our customers know this, we always focus on this core principle of genuine care. It is why we're successful. It's why we don't lose customers. It is one of the biggest things that we focus on from Catherine on down. It is the core, whether it's our internal employees, our customers, our partners. Absolutely everything we do is with this focus on genuine care.
Mhm. So, where are you finding folks to join your team today?
Everywhere. I will tell you, there are more people knocking. Just like when we did this investment round, we had more investors knocking at the door than we could possibly imagine. It was, important for us to be able to find the right people, ones that
Mhm.
are good cultural fits for us. And this applies for both the investment side and from the employee side, making sure that everyone is aligned with the core principles and the values, and understanding the power of what we're trying to do, which is really changing the way that the CRM world and application development is done. And when we think about this, we have folks joining us from obviously our competitors, but there's folks that are coming in that maybe aren't necessarily from the CRM world. They're from the process automation world. They're from the low code, no code side. Or we have folks that are CRM experts. Maybe they're an industry specialist, like in the banking financial service world, right? We
Mhm.
have folks that are coming in that have been working in an investment strategy, or they've been working in banking operations for years, and they're coming in helping drive these particular verticals that we're focused on. This is really, like I said, it's an exciting time. Our employee base has grown just as fast as our company growth in a lot of aspects, but it's really thanks to a lot of the core things that we've done over the last 8, 9, 10 years that have really set the stage for where we're at today.
I want to go back to your culture point for a
Yeah.
second. So, as you think about bringing on staff, obviously you guys are growing.
Mhm.
How do you assess cultural fit for an employee, and how important is that versus skills?
Well, it's an interesting topic. So, prior to taking this role, I actually was heading up our sales enablement group, and it was one of the most important things. It's how do we rapidly scale without losing our identity? And we came up with a really good set of soft skills and hard skills that we evaluate throughout the process. It's, again, we get back to core at everything we do through the hiring process, through the interview process, and everyone staying aligned. All those things has really helped us really make some amazing hires. Folks like Jason Miller, our new chief customer officer. We added Darren Lewis, our chief sales officer in Europe, about a year ago, and just
Mhm.
continuing to expand in so many different areas. It's great because not only do we have employees that are engaged, we're a great big family. Matter of fact, we're getting everybody together for our 10-year anniversary as a product company in Warsaw in just a couple of weeks. And it's going to be amazing to have the entire company together as one big family, celebrating all of the things that we are able to do.
And that's how many people about at this point?
We're continuing to grow. I mean, we're almost 800 employees worldwide. but almost 50% of that's just R&D, right? Just continuing to push the envelope every single day. But between R&D and customer service, they make up the bulk of our folks, and we're really focused on making sure that we're bringing the best tech and the best customer experience to our customers so that they can better service theirs.
So certainly some tailwinds for momentum as we look at the rest of 2024 and moving forward. But what are the headwinds for you, for the company? What are the biggest challenges you guys are facing?
Obviously, making sure for I'll say holistically for the market, it's still tough, right? I mean, the analysts and like you and others will tell you that the market is slowing. That being said, we're focused on not slowing. We're focused on actually accelerating it and maintaining that growth rate. That's harder and harder to do as you continue to grow. So having these types of things in place that we've put down over the last 3-4 years, because we've grown significantly just in the last 3-4 years, but getting this momentum continuing to go, that flywheel effect of just continuing to grow every single day and continuing to empower our people to make good decisions and bring the best solutions that they can forward for our customers. That's where our focus is at. I think the headwinds are going to be primarily market driven, but ultimately the sky's the limit and we're not going to stop.
Great. Well, I think that's a great way to segue into our next segment. It's crunch time. So Jason, with crunch time, Patrick picks out a couple of questions from the Proust questionnaire that he wants to ask you.
All right. Probably the hardest questions I'm going to face all day.
So we'll start. Who is your favorite hero of fiction?
Wow. I'm going to go with Tony Stark. This is my personal one because he was always innovative, always testing boundaries, and always pushing forward, trying to bring, the latest and greatest thing to the world and ultimately solving problems.
What makes you happiest?
When I'm sitting with a customer and you see that light bulb moment, it's just like when you're teaching kids and you see that light bulb moment where they get it and they're like, wow, I can really do these things and I can, be successful in doing these things. That's what makes me happiest is as our principal consultant here at Creatio, being able to sit down and show them a path to what they're trying to achieve. In a lot of aspects, they've been trying for years and not been able to get there, and be able to help them get there in a very short period of time. That's really special.
So giving them those aha moments in terms of what they can do with a customer experience.
Absolutely.
What talent would you most like to have?
I get the ability to go out and speak at, to customers and our no-code day events and other events all around the world. I still feel like I need to be a better speaker. So I would love the talent to just be flawless in everything that I present every single day. It's obviously something that I continue to work at, and that goes into whether it's auditory, writing. I'm trying to write a book. So it's all going to be, these things kind of pulled together. I really want that talent of just getting my message out in a more effective and efficient manner.
Oh, what's the book about?
I'm not going to disclose that one until I'll tell you. I tell you,
I thought I'd slip that one in.
Good try. That one I'm not going to go on. I'm still in draft mode, so I'm about halfway done with it. But it's going to be fun. I'm hoping to be able to get it out sometime next year.
Okay. What is your most treasured possession?
My friends, people around me. Everything that we do every single day, it's great, but it's the relationships that make life worth living.
And follow-on question, what do you most value in your friends?
Boy, that's a tough question. Frankly, just being there, right? People sometimes can come and go, as we all get older, people tend to leave more than they tend to come. So just being there and having that ability to spend time with them, engage with them, and have fellowship with them. It's just one of those things that I think you can't replace any other way.
And finally, Patrick's favorite question. If you could die and come back as any person or thing, what would you be?
Oh, Does it have to be real or can it be fictional?
It's whatever you want it to be.
I'll be honest. A Time Lord, being able to travel through time like Doctor Who, that would be amazing because you get to see all the things as they really happen. So instead of studying history from the future, you could actually be there and see
So it's
some of the
time
greatest
traveler.
moments. Yeah, some of the greatest moments in human and some of the saddest moments in human history. That'd be amazing.
Great. Well, I think that's an excellent way to end today with Chief Evangelist and Time Traveler, Jason Miller. Jason, thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jason. It was fun.
Thanks.
Have
Have
a
a
great
wonderful
holiday, everybody. And we'll see you soon again on The Crunch.